With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Let's go beyond the box score with Jackie Ray. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Good evening, Jackie Ray. It's always good to see you on this St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah. Where's my green?
Look, I
shouldn't have told anybody that.
I got a little bit of green on. I got some Army green Dockers, but, my last name's O'Kelly. I don't need the green. I don't need it.
Fair.
I'll get my free drink later on tonight at the pub.
I love it. Love it.
Speaking of green, how about that for a segue? The Philadelphia Eagles are officially committed to visiting the White House on April 28th, and this is per Caroline Leavitt, the White House press secretary. Listen to this.
I have two more quick notes before I wrap up. April 28th, I can confirm that the Philadelphia Eagles will be here at the White House to celebrate their Super Bowl victory. I know there was a lot of fake news about an invitation that wasn't sent or was sent. We want to correct the record. We sent an invitation. They enthusiastically accepted, and you will see them here on April 28th.
Caroline Leavitt was very enthusiastic. She said that the Eagles were very enthusiastic. They enthusiastically accepted the invitation to come to the White House on April 28th. We all know that in 2018, the Eagles, last time they were Super Bowl champions, did not accept an invitation to the White House and declined to attend. Should we make anything of this either way?
That is a great question because I've been thinking about this a lot. I was drastically disappointed to find out the Eagles were actually going to go to the White House because despite what she said, we know that the Eagles originally did say that as a team, they had decided not to go. And their reasoning for not going made sense. Individuals on that team, they know that in general, there is an attack on them, not maybe specifically, but they're part of communities that the White House has launched attacks on. So it made sense that they would say no. So there's no part of me that believes that in any way them declining the offer because we saw them decline the offer, that wasn't a legitimate thing. I think what I'm concerned about now, though, is what's the turning point? Because we've seen this, unfortunately, a lot as far as this administration. People realize that the things that are coming out of the White House are very anti-whatever, anti-Black, anti-women, anti-LGBTQ plus, whatever. So they're taking stances against that. So now my concern is what power is he wielding that is making an entire organization change their mind? That's number one. And number two, are there going to be individuals who say, I'm not going? Because in my mind, Jalen and Saquon should absolutely not go because they're the faces of the team and who they individually stand for. I don't think that they should go. But then if they don't go, what does that mean for the team? I think everything is just in a very weird limbo spot for me.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And you touched upon it. Just because the organization said that it has accepted the invitation to the White House, it does not mean that all the members of the team have accepted that invitation and will show up. And also, as I said earlier, it's April 28th. The whole world is going to change between now and then. Right. And the Philadelphia Eagles, individually as players and collectively as an organization, did not forget that President Trump talked a lot of trash about the Eagles and supported the Kansas City Chiefs because of their MAGA associations, having nothing to do with football. So I know that's still going to be an issue. We know that Jalen Hurts, to your point, was asked about the president during Super Bowl week, and he brushed it aside in a very clear way that he was not a fan. What this looks like in April is going to look very different from now. We're going to have other controversies. The president's going to make other statements. We might be in the middle of an economic catastrophe. We might be in the middle of a war in the Middle East, because of things which have happened recently. We don't know what it's going to be. But this is my takeaway. According to our last conversation, I'm more of the opinion we need to be done with this tradition. It should not be a part of a White House briefing. Because clearly it's in all of our consciousness about whether the team is going to go or not. And you're putting these players in an impossible position. Don't tell me everyone's going to agree with it. We need to dead this altogether.
And I think the president that has made it his mission to say we should keep politics out of sports should be the one to dead this. He should be the one who says, which now I'm being facetious here if you guys can't pick up on my sarcasm, but he should be the one who says, I'm going to practice what I preach. If I don't want athletes involved in politics, I'm going to stop making this a thing where now people have to choose between their morals, their ethics, their ideology, and if they're going to stand with their team. We are done with this tradition. Congratulations for Philadelphia Eagles on your Super Bowl win. Go with God.
You know, I think that's it. That's the easiest way to acknowledge them, to celebrate them across the sports. You know, we're going to talk about March Madness in the next segment. It doesn't have to be just the NFL. It could be the NBA. It could be MLB. All the sports. You have the president acknowledge that team and say, congratulations, wonderful season. You are champions. You're representing America in a great way on the world stage. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, you're very, very good. You're very good. He could say anything he wanted to say. But now here's the reason why I think this president specifically, other presidents could have done the same thing, but it has been a more typically when teams have gone to the White House, it's been fun. We get a lot of one-liners from it. It's just this fun anecdotal thing, but that's not the time we live in right now. We live in a time where hate crimes are up. We live in a time where older people are having a hard time getting medication specifically because of this administration. They have wiped out history from Black, Mexican, and women at the Arlington Cemetery. So we live in a very trying time where your mere association with somebody or standing next to somebody all of a sudden puts you in their same stratosphere, whether you believe
as
what
an
they
endorsement
do or not.
It's perceived as an endorsement.
It's perceived as an endorsement. So I would be vastly disappointed, like I said, if there's certain specific players on the team that go, in my opinion, the only person that should be there is the owner and the GM. Because I would feel like their ideologies might align with that. But everybody else should just stay home and watch it on television, my personal opinion. But I can't be the only one that's like that. There's people out there who are going to see certain people standing next to Trump, and they're going to assume that this wave of destruction that we're seeing across our country, they co-sign on that. They agree with that and they support it. And that's not a fair assumption, but it is an assumption that's going to be made.
Let me put it in real terms. This is exactly what is going to happen. Jalen Hurts, the quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, is going to be asked point blank, are you going to the White House? Do you support the president when he's doing X, Y, and Z? And then he is in the impossible position of having to make a political assessment and give a political answer having nothing to do with sports, having nothing to do with anything he's done. It's now been placed in his lap. And if he says anything other than I am happy to do this, I have no problem with do this, and not acknowledge the actual question, which is going to be asked of him, he's then going to be put in some sort of box that he endorses everything that Donald Trump has said and done. And it's unfair to him. And we say keep politics out of sports, but that is what's going to happen. And it's unfair to the players.
And I know we talk about gambling a lot. Let's make a bet, because how I would assume Jalen is going to answer that question is, I am not going to support this president. I'm going as a member of this team and to support my teammates. That's not going to fly, to your point.
It's not.
Because it's not going to be this blanket statement that might have worked in the past, because now there is a very specific undertone, whatever you want to call it, in this country. And as a Black man, you cannot deny the racist undertones. You have to say to me, you have to look a Black journalist in the face and say, I, as a Black man, am okay shaking the hand of this man who has been very open that he doesn't even like diversity in the country.
Well, not only that, has made it very clear that he doesn't even like the Philadelphia Eagles, and Jalen Hurts has made it clear that he's not a fan of the president. So let's stop playing games here. We got to go to a break here. But on the other side, it's kind of a continuation of this conversation, because it's now March Madness. The brackets are out. My team's not in it, but I know that the whole country is going to be wasting time at work watching it. So let's talk some March Madness when we come back. It's Jackie Ray with me, Beyond the Box Score, later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640, live everywhere in the iHeartRadio.
Trading at Schwab is now powered by Ameritrade, giving you even more specialized support than ever before. Like access to the trade desk, our team of passionate traders ready to tackle anything from the most complex trading questions to a simple strategy gut check. Need assistance? No problem. Get 24/7 professional answers and live help, and access support by phone, email, and in-platform chat. That's how Schwab is here for you, to help you trade brilliantly. Learn more at schwab.com/trading.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years, and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve, it's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu. With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online, that's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Your app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's March Madness. Let's continue to go beyond the box score with Jackie Ray. Jackie Ray, I used to love March Madness, and my reasons for not loving it now are selfish because my team, my alma mater, Georgetown Hoyas, have been horrible for about a decade. Right. They've sniffed the tournament once in the past 10 years. So I don't have any reason to watch. I'm invested.
A Buffalo. Are you serious right now?
Oh, here you go. Here's some history.
Buffalo.
The last time we made the tournament, we lost to Colorado in the first round. And I know you remember that.
Yep.
But all around the country, people are filling out their brackets. It's easier now to watch the tournament than ever before. It's on like 6 different channels. And because of streaming, you're not going to miss really any of the games. People are going to be watching at work or they're going to call in sick. How would you describe the importance to March Madness to our culture in general?
March Madness is one of my favorite things in the world because this is where you really, to your point, I can remember being in school, on a job, whatever, and I would have either classmates or fellow colleagues that I wasn't really close to. But then March Madness rolls around and we're all talking brackets. We got a boss one time 2 jobs ago. I had a boss that was like, hey, are we all getting sick this day so we can go to the local bar and watch games all day? Fantastic. It's one of those things that we all want to be the one person, which is, I think, the statistics are like 0.00, like 0.1.
You have a better chance of hitting the lottery, but go ahead.
Yeah, of getting your whole, most people's brackets are going to blow up on the first day, but it's just a fun thing to really sit down, go through your brackets, talk shop. You can kind of tell who knows a little bit about and has been following certain teams or certain players versus the people who are just doing that crash course trying to get the brackets done. It really is a great way, in my opinion. I feel the same way about fantasy football, when you guys can get together and it just brings people together who normally wouldn't hang out together. So I do like the unifying spirit of it. I've never even gotten close to it. My bracket always is blown up the first day.
Same with mine. I've never been adept at choosing brackets. And my team usually never goes far in the tournament. And also, when my team is out of the tournament, I usually tune out because I'm not rooting for Duke. I'm not, for example, I'm not rooting for some other team from the Big East Conference where Georgetown plays. Yeah. In the case of this case would be St. John's, who's the number 2 seed. It's a great turnaround story for the university and also Rick Pitino. Can't root for him. So don't care. There's nothing in it for me. But I'm so invested personally in college basketball. It's hard for me. Whenever my team is out, I can't even watch ESPN. It's a painful reminder. But that's how serious it is for a lot of people. And I don't know for me, here's the question. Is there anything more exciting than an NC2A Final Four? I don't know.
Absolutely not. Especially if there's an underdog in there that kind of flew under everyone's radar. What was it, like 5-6 years ago? Villanova was the underdog, and that just had everyone glued to the television. Who are these people? You know, those kinds of storylines that help you fall in love with the kids. Now, I do feel like the men's game specifically, and I know I've said this before, they need that. They need that underdog to try to push that storyline because a lot of the kids we're not going to know who they are next year. We're going to have a whole different lineup next year.
Yeah, they're going to the pros or transfer.
Yeah, they're going to the pros. So we don't really have the opportunity in the men's game to build those relationships and build those fandoms. So the NCAA men's game really does, in my opinion, rely on those underdogs to kind of carry the story. So if we don't have one of those great storylines, I don't even know how interested I'm going to be in the men's game just in general. Versus the women's game, these players, these women, they have been with their teams. A lot of these players have been 2-3 years. Some of them even play 4 years. So you have that opportunity to just really become a fan of that player and that school. So it's an easier storyline to carry. But either way, I absolutely love it.
Question, was USC women's team disrespected by getting a number 1 seed, but the lowest number 1 seed, in other words, the most difficult path to the Final Four, largely on the strength of losing to UCLA, who they already beaten twice in the Big Ten championships? Was USC disrespected by their placement?
I think so. I don't think you really can say, they've lost to UCLA when they beat them. But I also have been one to say for my entire life, this whole decision by committee thing is just weird to me. There's a lot of things that don't necessarily make sense. People will say, they lost the last 3 or 4, so that's why. Whatever. None of this is actually logical. It is based largely on feelings. However, even though I think they were disrespected and their path is going to be harder, I think they're going to come out stellar. And so this specific path is going to solidify that, yes, this is the team that we think they are.
Yeah, they weren't ready last season to take that next step. They're definitely ready. It's all laid out in front of them, and it probably would be even more satisfying.
Yes, to say, look, you tried to make this hard, and here we are. Last season, we saw a glimpse of who they were, who they are. Now we kind of know who they are. I think this is going to be a fun series to watch.
I will be tuning in because I definitely won't be tuning in to the men's because I am petty. I'm salty.
I can't even name your favorite NCAA men's basketball player right now.
You know what? I don't know about favorite. I'm curious to see if Duke's Cooper Flagg is the real deal. If he is, because he's forecast to be the number 1 pick overall. I like his game. I don't know if he is not necessarily as good as advertised, will have as an immediate impact as thought.
Right. And that's one of the problems we see all the time in the NCAA men's game. It takes a couple years.
It does.
LiAngelo in my, LaMelo, in my, I get the ball.
LaMelo ball.
Confused. LaMelo, he's the exception to that rule, in my opinion. He translated seamlessly, but he was always also born with a basketball in his hand. So that's probably not a fair comparison, but it does take a year or 2, probably 2 or 3 actually, for them to catch up. But it's because they didn't spend enough time in school.
Yeah, they're only 18, 19 years old. That's what college would give you 2-3 years of legitimate pre-NBA experience as opposed to going from basically high school to NBA. You're jumping 2 levels in 1 year. Yep. So that's what I'll be looking for. It didn't work out for
Lonzo. Speaking of the Ball brothers, didn't work out for Lonzo. He definitely could have benefited from another year or 2 in college.
Absolutely. Chasing that money. It's Later with Mo Kelly. Jackie Ray, I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Imagine Scrubs, a TV show like that, in a world today, and Mark Ronner's going to hate this, where we have AI doing a lot of the jobs that nurses would do in assistance of medical doctors. Like, for example, you can be due for a medical exam and you could get a phone call, an actual phone call from someone like Anna, this friendly voice that can help you prepare for your appointment and answer any pressing questions you might have. She'll have a calm, warm demeanor. And Anna has been trained to put patients at ease, like Mark and me. We have this apprehension when it comes to stuff like this.
Can Anna give me a sponge bath? That's what I want to know.
Maybe not today.
Okay, then.
But in the future.
Case closed.
But Anna is doing the job of many actual nurses. Anna is AI, available 24/7, can speak multiple languages from Hindi to Haitian Creole. Anna is a part of this company in an intelligence program called Hippocratic AI, like Hippocratic Oath. And so it's one of a number of new companies offering ways to automate time-consuming tasks usually performed by nurses and medical assistants. And if you don't know, most, not all, but most nurses and medical assistants are paid an hourly wage. In other words, that is a variable cost that most companies would love to get rid of. Why am I going to pay someone, let's say $45 an hour, when you have Anna who can do it basically for free with the exception of the cost of paying for the service originally?
Yeah, this is where Mark Ronner comes in and says, because that's putting people out of a job.
Isn't that the whole point of business? I'm being serious. The whole point of having employees is to make things easier to make money. If you can do it without an employee, what's the point of during that expense? What's the point of keeping employees around if you can do it without them?
I mean, look, I want to have an argument against that. I really do. I don't, though.
I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying that it's good for America in the sense of the labor force. I've said many times that eventually we'll get to the point where we have a universal basic income. I don't know if it'll be in my lifetime, but through automation, yes, some jobs change, but most jobs go away, especially when you're talking about the service industry. How many jobs have disappeared because we don't have any more elevator operators, or we don't have traffic light operators, or we don't have people who are working at a grocery store, or we don't have people working in just those convenience stores? Most of that can be done through automation for the most part. I mean, you go to the movie theater, you really don't need someone behind the counter actually taking your order. You can go to McDonald's today and go boop, 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 and then just go walk up and pick up your food. They don't need as many employees as they use right now. It's unfortunate reality, but that's the way everything is trending. And if they can find a use for AI in the medical field, I'm not saying they can actually come in and do a digital rectal exam, which Mark is looking for. They're not there yet.
But
thank you for that.
But
literally,
yes.
Now, I know that there is a huge fight with human nurses against, of course, the advancement of AI nurses. And there are cases where they point out where the AI at this moment is not necessarily as intuitive as it needs to be. There was a case where an individual came in with a case of sepsis, and the AI nurse, through them entering the information, recommended a large dose of IV fluid. The human nurse, upon further investigation, in talking to the patient, found out that the patient was a dialysis patient, and a large dose of IV fluid can make your dialysis that much harder. And so, using human common sense, had to say, a large dose of fluid is not good for someone that's currently on dialysis, especially what was being prescribed. So they had to use human means to lower the dosage and this, that, and the other. All I can say against that is, yeah, this is why AI is constantly advancing. I get that it may not be as intuitive as need be right now. But the thing about AI is it's actually growing faster than people. People are not advancing through the medical field as fast as AI is analyzing.
Right. It can be trained, quote unquote, and ready to be a nurse's assistant in a relatively short amount of time. And it doesn't need to do everything, but it's doing some of the things. It's doing some of the necessary things and allowing the actual human element to do other things and be more productive.
Trust and believe. As someone who has spent an ungodly amount of time in hospitals, I am telling you for a fact that I love each and every nurse who has ever waited on me, taking care of me, either, got a IV in correctly or just tended to my needs.
Well, that's
period.
the worst.
I mean, that there have been a lot of instances where just because of the nurse's presence in the room, I felt at ease because they were able to walk me through a lot of the things that when the doctor comes through in the morning, hey, how you doing? Okay, get in, out. They're able to come in and say, okay, so here's what the doctor has laid out. Here are the orders for the day, this, that, and the other. I don't know if I would be as happy getting that from a teleprompter with an AI, picture on it saying, hi, this is Jody. Here's what's going to be happening today. I like the personal element. All I'm saying is what I like and what, say, the hospital that I'm going to may like are two different worlds.
Well, think of it another way. Let's use this in the way that we may outsource a call center. And you have either AI or a foreign country doing some of this work. And if it doesn't work, it's escalated up to a human, hopefully, someone, there's maybe not a language barrier. I'm not trying to be an ass, but I'm just saying, let's be honest. Sometimes there's a language barrier, or the computer automated system doesn't give you the options that you actually want. And so it's escalated to, can I speak to your manager? So you get an actual person on the phone. That's where I think this is. It can do some things, limited things, but the really important and difficult things, still, you're going to need that human touch. But 3 years from now, it's going to be doing a hell of a lot more than it's doing right now.
I want to know who takes the responsibility when an AI screws up on some medical thing.
It's probably written into the contract, written into the insurance bill.
The company that made the AI.
It's still representing the hospital.
Yeah, right. That's not good enough, and that's why you need people.
Not everything fired. Not what a sue.
What are you doing, Mark?
I think that sometimes people need to have a connection with another person, and not every single thing in human life needs to be boiled down to efficiency and cost saving, especially the medical profession.
Well, medicine is especially something. I'm okay with AI being an assistant to a nurse, but you need to have a human nurse there in case there's a glitch or a malfunction. A long time ago, there was a radiation machine that was supposed to be controlled by software, and the software malfunctioned, and it ended up killing a bunch of people that were going in for cancer radiation treatment.
Great. That makes me feel great. Okay, so, thank you, Sam.
But that's the thing. You need to have human touch there to make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen.
That's right. We've all seen Logan's Run. We know how Logan's Run ends.
I hear you on that, Sam. But did they not make the necessary improvements on said machine, and we haven't had that incident happen again?
Absolutely.
That is my point. Thank you for making
Can we boil it down?
How much of this AI is brand new?
Oh, do you want to be part of the trial and error? Do you want to be one of the mistakes that lets them fine-tune?
Do you know how much trial and error I go through in my medical life? How many things I've had to do?
You haven't heard the stories, Mark. You don't get
I can only imagine, but would you like to multiply that by an order of magnitude?
But no, AI is here in varying degrees. Like, for example, don't delude yourself into believing that when you get on a plane and it's on autopilot, that's not a form of AI. It's in varying degrees in all of our technology.
Well, maybe, but would you get on a plane that only had autopilot? I wouldn't.
Not yet. I won't even get in a damn car, which is autonomous. So why would I get on a plane that's autonomous?
Well, we've got the expert on that right here.
Okay, but in a few years, that will be the way, because then you know what you don't have to worry about, Mark? Pilots doing cocaine before the flight. You know we have reported on that.
Is that what we're worried about, really?
You're not worried about cocaine pilots?
No, I'm worried about hitting the side of a mountain.
In fact, I think a little bit of coke might make them more alert. In fact, give them free coke. Give pilots cocaine.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I guess it's time to go to break. We'll come back with your horoscope. It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. No AI here.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked #1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and #2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve. It's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Live everywhere, the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI, Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. It's now time for your horoscope for the week. And we'll find out what makes you intelligent based on your zodiac sign. Let's start with Aries. Aries can make swift decisions while others get lost in hesitation. They work well in high-pressure situations or emergencies ruled by warrior Mars, the planet of ambition and preservation. Check the rhymes, y'all. Their rapid mind allows them to solve problems almost instantaneously, as they are governed by and aligned with their instincts. Taurus. Isn't it, Sam? Aren't you Taurus?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Taurus is naturally resourceful. Ruled by Venus, the planet of luxury and values, makes them dedicated to fulfilling their long-term goals. They innately understand the importance of money, practical aims, material management, and intelligence.
Okay,
do you make anything of that?
Some of it sounds about right. Some of it feels like, like financial management. I'm like, no, that's not me.
Now we're on to Mark Runner and Gemini.
Let's have it.
We know very little about Mark, but he did tell us that he was a Gemini. We'll assume he was telling us the truth. Ruled by Mercury and of the intellectual air element, Gemini is often a jack of all trades. Their curiosity is their superpower. They usually educate themselves, research their burning questions, and accumulate many skills. This zodiac is often considered one of the most witty star signs.
I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop here.
No, that's the end of it. That's it. You're witty.
Huh. I don't trust this. It's sus.
This not like there's going to be more at the end, okay? Cancer.
Right, move on.
Cancer is a natural born healer. They excel in any activities that require heightened emotional maturity or intelligence. Their profound perceptive skills and unconditional empathy make them excellent at meditating, validating emotions, and building community. Leo, you shine bright, ruled by our sun. Leos are witty in creative problem solving and projects. Their exceptional leadership skills and aspirations make them successful in whatever they set their minds to. Their charisma is natural and effortless, granting them access to usually impossible spaces. Virgo, you're the zodiac analyst, innately in tune with the details that make up the big picture of a successful operation. They see crucial facts and elements that many just overlook. This Earth sign is ruled by Mercury, the planet of cerebral activity, leading to an intelligent disposition and personality. Libra, you're ruled by charming Venus. Understand social dynamics. Their lovely personalities allow them to connect with people from various backgrounds, leading to their popularity and vast network of contacts. Libras naturally find ways to diffuse tension, uplift others, and make people feel seen, understood, and supported. That's very nice, Libra. Here comes Tuala with Scorpio.
Yeah.
When it comes to intuitive awareness, Scorpio has it made. Their nearly psychic abilities to read situations, predict patterns, and understand the core intentions of others make them influential personalities. They excel with psychological intelligence and research skills and always get to the bottom.
This is so true.
I wish I was a Scorpio.
This is absolutely 100% true. Every last bit of this.
All this flattery is devalued. Everybody can't be great all at once. I'm sorry.
Hey. Don't hate the great.
So, can I move on now?
Please do.
Okay. Sagittarius, that's me. Being worldly and connected to the big picture grants Sagittarius philosophical intelligence. They excel at navigating ethical dilemmas, bringing others closer to their truth, and sometimes finding common ground with opposing views. They love to educate others, write, and travel to stay in the loop. Dude, that's spot on.
Spot on.
We can stop right there.
Did you write that yourself?
KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere. The iHeartRadio app. Now, no, kidding.
Man.
No, I did not write that, but it is accurate.
Did you pay to have it written?
No, I did not. Tuala, tell him.
No, look, Mark, I found this. This is a gem. Accept yourself, though, Mark. I need you to accept yourself.
No, I told you Friday that I'm uncomfortable with anything but self-deprecation, and we just have to live with that.
This is where you say, okay, let's move on.
I need you to engage in some self-deprecation as well.
Please. Whatever. I'm perfect. Capricorn. Capricorn thrives in organized systems of success. As natural-born leaders, this zodiac thrives in the driver's seat. Known for their career success, their intelligence runs deeper. In truth, they remain true to their initial intentions, goals, and integrity. Their maturity grants them old soul wisdom. Aquarius? Well, Aquarius is on the edge of thought, leading trends before the common public understands them. They excel in technology, science, innovation, and other non-traditional logistical fields. Humanitarians at heart, this zodiac advocates for many. Now, this is just my own personal pet peeve, okay? All these are relatively positive. And we have too many a-holes out there for this to apply to everyone.
What was I just saying? Thank you.
Did you say something? I didn't hear you.
It's literally about how people apply their horoscopic wisdom. Not too many people do. Too many people like to, move about without any horoscopic awareness. And I think that's part of the problem. If people were to really tap in to their inner true self, we would all be better people.
Know thyself?
Yes.
To thine own self be true? What philosophical statement are you making here?
Horoscopically? We need to live more horoscopically? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Or endoscopically?
Yeah, I'm more comfortable with that.
Colonoscopy?
You're not more comfortable with that, Mark. You're not. I can tell you, good sir, you are not.
Okay.
You are not. You don't want that one.
Pisces, as we close it out. Spiritually intelligent and gifted Pisces is known for its abstract thinking. They can think outside the box, making fantasy a reality, artistic, compassionate, and ethereal. Pisces leaves a lasting emotional impact on others they cross paths with. With words like poetry, they sense the true, unspoken emotional undercurrents in any given moment.
It's beautiful.
Is that a way of like calling them an empath or something?
Yeah. Roundabout way.
All right. Are you still waiting for that other shoe to drop, Mark?
No, these all sound like really swell people who I'd like to know.
Look, they're not existing in my life. I can throw a rock and hit a Gemini who's an a-hole with no effort. I'm sorry, you're a Gemini, aren't you?
A little grade inflation across the board here. I don't trust any of this stuff. I trust none of it.
It's a little too sunny of a disposition for me. I like to see the worst in people. Not the best.
They need to have a negative horoscope out there. Every horoscope I've seen seems to be trying to encourage people to live up to something. Why not have like one that's like, okay, here's the positive stuff about you, but also here's the negative stuff about you.
That's why I do not like fortune cookies, because it's just a bunch of BS. If they said receiver of the cookie, a large sum of money is going to come your way and you're going to jail. I would like that. Okay, let's be honest here. Your career's about to change. You're going to get fired. That would mean more because that's realistic.
Yeah, you're going to win the lottery and use the money to overdose. That's the fortune cookie I want.
I would be surprised if I saw one like you will perform in adult films. Something that's like really deep and intense like that.
But see, that actually would be a seller. That would be a selling point. The only place I get a fortune cookie these days is at Panda Express, and they're all nice and positive and fluffy. It's like, give me the real, because my life is not fluffy. It's not all positive.
But you have to change your outlook. Your outlook is what is not fluffy.
What does my email have to do with this?
I want a fortune cookie that alarms me. Like you open it up and it says duck.
Right. like, can I get a win? Like now?
Yeah, fortune cookies usually play the longer game. So I would like to see more immediate ones as well. Like,
go see the doctor?
Like, you have to do number 2. Plan for that. You don't want to get caught short.
This is not how the realm of positivity works. This is where fortune cookies and horoscopes, it is trying to guide you to become your better self.
I would be better if I had to go number 2. So, yeah, guide me to the bathroom.
Well, you'd certainly be lighter.
Look at the time. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Wear green. Ow! Don't get pinched.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
At Arizona State University, we're bringing world-class education from our globally acclaimed faculty to you. Ranked number 1 in innovation for 10 consecutive years and number 2 among public universities for employability. ASU isn't just ahead of the curve. It's creating new paths to success. Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.